There he is. What's up, man?
I'm back
You're
again.
back. There's a delay, but it's fine. We'll work it.
Yeah, I don't know
Um,
what's going on with that, man.
yeah, it's all good. Um, yeah. So welcome to the Talk of the Podcast. I'm Sahid. That is Nicholas. Um, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with us. Be sure you like, subscribe, comment on any of our videos wherever you're seeing this. YouTube, Facebook. Um, I'm not streaming on Instagram today because I need to figure out the aspect ratio aspect before we can actually get that going. Unless you guys just want to see our shoulders. Um,
I have some
and then,
pretty.
yeah. One of the things though is that I also just kind of totally random. I bought a new speaker, so I don't need my headphones anymore. So I put like a Bluetooth speaker on.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool. A little upgrade for myself. But yeah, we got. It looks like we already got some people watching us. So thank you guys for watching, man. Much appreciated. Thanks for being here. Sorry we're a little bit late. Uh, and we missed a week, right? Let's talk about why we missed a week off, right? Right quick. I had
It feels
COVID.
like forever.
Yeah, it does feel like it's been a while. I got COVID. Um, and I was sick as a dog last weekend, mainly on Friday. Um, and yeah, what's interesting about my time with COVID is that I tested positive for COVID the same time the president of the United States tested positive for COVID. Um,
Hey,
just
maybe
telling,
y'all
mind
were
you, I
hanging
don't
out, man.
doubt it. I mean, difference is he's a 70-year-old man and I'm not. And he has like what was so funny was that he was like I was in pain on Friday. Like Friday was just terrible. Like and I looked at like my vaccination cards and my last vaccine, my booster was in December. So probably should
Mm,
read up on that.
it's about that time.
Yeah, I should probably re up on that. So I'm gonna try to get another booster uh like next month or so. They're not letting us get monkeypox vaccines because reasons. But hopefully I can get that COVID booster. But yeah, that Friday was so miserable. And let me freaking tell you something. What was so fun about that, or was what I thought was funny, was that when President Biden caught COVID and he took an antiviral pill to like help fight some of the worst symptoms. So he kind of like made this video. He's like, "Hey guys, I'm okay. Just gonna be working from home." And I'm like, "You bastard! I'm in pain here. How dare you?" I legit looked up some of that. Like, how can I get that antiviral medicine? And then my mom and my dad, they were kind of well, mainly my mom. They were just giving me like at home remedies. Like, aren't you taking something? And I'm like, well, there's really nothing to take here, right? There's nothing to take. I took cough drops because I'm still coughing a little bit, um, which you probably heard, and like
I've heard that
just
cough will stay with you for a.
yeah, yeah. I didn't go to the gym today because I didn't want to scare anyone there with my coughs. So hopefully that will be done by next week, or by Tuesday when I plan on going back. And yeah, it was a battle. It was definitely a battle. Um, yeah, one of my coworkers was like, "Man, I'm surprised you didn't take like a week off of work," and I probably should have, but it's fine. I digress. But here we are. So I survived, right? Yeah, let's go ahead and let's get into it. So, first things first, let's talk a little bit about the article that you sent me, and I just read a couple minutes ago. Um, with about the Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, right? You want to go ahead and kick us off?
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, the reason why I sent it is because I feel like it's gonna lead into something else very soon, right?
Yeah.
So, Ketanji Brown Jackson, I think she went to Harvard, and she was also a member right? And there is a case going up to the Supreme Court. There's a Harvard dispute that's about to be joined with North Carolina, and originally they actually weren't going to let her. Um, and so this article was basically detailing how they've decided they let her serve on the case, and the reason they weren't going to let her serve on the case was because she had taught university. But the case itself is one that has to do with the enrolling of a diversified student body in Harvard particularly, which had a case a few years ago, and now UNC. And depending on the outcome of this case, there's probably going to be another case very soon about affirmative action. And you already know that we have a conservative majority in the Supreme Court right now. So
not just any conservative majority either, like a very conservative majority. Like, like a very conservative majority.
It's 6-3.
We've always had a conservative majority. We've always had a conservative majority, but these guys are a little bit different, right? So
they've got a plan.
Yeah. It almost feels like the planning that a lot of these guys are trying to do to get rid of Roe v. Wade, and then now like affirmative action has been years in the making with like some of the people they were elected in or appointed in the Supreme Court. I will say I just read this article too. So there were two cases, right? They were all one, but they split it to two cases. So Ketanji Brown Jackson could vote on one of them. That was the North Carolina one.
Right.
She went to Harvard. She went to undergrad and law school at Harvard. Also, from the article that I'm remembering, I just read this like maybe 10 minutes ago, so that's why I have some memory on this. She was on the board of overseers as well, right?
That's what it was. I couldn't remember.
Yeah. So, it's some scary times when it comes to like they really are trying to undo a lot of the progress that we've made when it comes to equality, when it comes to women's rights, and I think the case was more along the lines of using race as a part of acceptance criteria as admittance to these institutions, right?
Essentially, affirmative action.
Yeah. And what annoys me about this case is that the people that are against it don't want to acknowledge the massive historical not even discrepancies of what has happened to Black people while in this country. It's not just simply after being freed from slavery, but the slaughterhouse laws and the redlining laws and the voter rights laws and so many laws or so many things that was meant to just undermine and belittle and what has led to the state today, right, where African Americans in this country are still incarcerated at the most and are mostly in poverty, are in the poverty area, right? And some of these people they just want to ignore it, right? And it was like, like one of the Supreme Court justices, I can even imagine her frame of thinking. She has I forgot her name, but she was the most recent Supreme Court justice before Ketanji Brown Jackson. That was appointed, the last one appointed by Trump. She has a Black kid, right? She adopted
a kid or something.
Adopted a kid from Africa, right? So I can imagine that they probably feel like they've done their job. That's probably the scariest moment in the sense that they probably don't recognize exactly what they go through, right? But like if you challenge them on that, they can always think the fact that what are you talking about? I adopted like a Black orphan, right? It's sad and scary times, but you know, like the Black Panther trailer, we gonna be all right. That's what he said in the trailer, which we can't wait to talk about later.
Yes,
But
I mean you have those cases, right? And
mhm,
Harvard University just filed a brief with the Supreme Court, basically saying that they have the right consider race when accepting students. And when you think about how diverse Harvard University is, right? So I mean, and colleges and universities these days are getting more, and honestly, like there are still groups of people out there. It's more difficult for them to get in
yeah,
than some of their peers, right? And a lot of black, brown, and what have you, right? So I mean,
mhm,
these practices are still necessary. It's really about, to me. It's still a very necessary thing, and it goes back to a quote that I provided in from Lyndon B. Johnson about the Civil Rights Act, where he was basically saying
yeah,
that um, giving um, the black man, his free years and years of slavery and the laws, of keeping about that, there still needs to be programs and things like that in place, and others get onto equal footing, with their white peers, and it's still true today.
yep,
We're still talking about being free since the '60s. You know what I mean? Really
mhm,
free. You know what I mean? That, and he can still say, "Hey, I remember the first time I played at White High School."
yeah,
You know what I mean? Drinking out of
yeah,
the
absolutely,
colored fountain in the stores. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
still necessary out here.
Oh yeah, it's very necessary. I mean, I think the frustrating thing is that these guys don't want to acknowledge the very cool past that you've been in, right? And why these things that you said are necessary things that we need as part of our society. It's just unfortunate that people just don't want to. They don't want to work to solve these problems. They just kind of just want to ignore that they're not there, and it's frustrating. It really, really is frustrating.
One other
Um,
point. One other point to put in here about this case too, because I'm looking at some stuff right now. Over the last 40 years, there have been other
mhm,
cases like this where the Supreme Court has recognized universities have a valid interest in attracting and convening a diverse student body of the University of California versus Bake, 1978, 2003,
mhm.
and Fisher versus University of Texas, 2016. They basically all some limited consideration of race and admissions is constitutional,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So I'm not really sure what these new cover, but no, I'm just my fear is that you have this new, well, not a new, but this agenda, and stuff's about to get
Yeah. What's
it's
interesting is
about to
that
get a little harder.
you have this, right? You have college prices in college, like institution, like well, the cost to go to college has gone up a lot, right? And we already know where African Americans are when it comes to like wealth, right? The very bottom, right? Or we might be sharing that bottom with like Hispanic people of Hispanic descent. So not only you're eliminating race from like college admissions, right? To prevent these colleges from like using race as an acceptance, right? Um, they're not only doing that, but they're also letting prices get like more expensive for college. It's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. And it's super frustrating. One other thing that I wanted to point out too, while while reading, um, and I thought this was actually pretty interesting, was that so Katanji so what in during her acceptance, right, or during her confirmation hearing, she said that she wouldn't take that case, right, because she was on the Harvard Board of Overseers and went to school. And there's conflict of interest, right? And here's Clarence Thomas there, whose wife literally helped, you know, try to like overthrow the government. Like, we're seeing we're seeing evidence of this, right? With fake electors and her communication with like Mark Meadows, who was like someone was the chief of staff in the White House. I'm not sure exactly what I don't forget what exactly what his role was,
Was it
but
Bannon?
you kind of see. Go ahead.
Was it Bannon? Something like that.
Bannon too. Yeah, he's held in contempt though, so that's different. But yeah, there are emails that's being shared with these guys, and it's like this is bad, and this guy needs to like I'm sure there are going to be a lot of cases involving with him, right? And he definitely needs to recluse himself. Talk less of like freaking get off the fucking Supreme Court in general, right? This is also a guy who wants to get rid of gay marriage. I think the only progressive thing he probably wants to keep is like interracial marriage, right? Because he's married to a white woman. It's probably the only thing he's willing to keep. But don't get rid of that shit too. Um, but that actually is a great segue to the next topic, which is so we lost two Titans last couple of days, right? With Uhura and Bill Russell. Both has fought for civil rights in their own way. Uhura, interesting case. When she kissed Will Shatner, that was the first televised interracial kiss like on TV.
Oof. Crazy.
Right? Yeah, the first televised. She passed away at 89. I think was it today or yesterday? I think it was yesterday. And her name, her name is Nichelle Nichols, right? And she she came up with the name Aurora, but it was part Swahili, right? I was actually watching a video right like today, right? Heard it's part Swahili, and she helped came up with develop that name for that show, Star Trek. So yeah, definitely rest in peace for her. Bill Russell, interesting case. So when someone asks me who are the greatest players of all time, I say I love playing devil's advocate and saying LeBron James, but I honestly think it's Michael Jordan. But my number two would be Bill Russell, right? Um, and I can even argue that he was number one. He doesn't have the statistical like accomplishments as Jordan or LeBron or Wilt Chamberlain, but you know what he does have? The championships, right? And that's how we judge how some of these players are. They won 8 in a row, 8 in a row, right? Um, he's won more championships during the league than he wasn't in the league. Like I think there were only 3 years where he didn't win a championship, right? And he won like championships as a college player too, as well, right? So this guy, like when you look at that DJ Khaled song, all I do is win, win, win. This should be this guy, right? This is all you do is win. All you do is win.
That's fair.
Right?
No, yeah, he won. Yeah, he got 11 rings and a coach, right? But he also it's not just for me chips, because he did it at a time where there were less teams and also kind of like redefining the game in his own right too from his position, right? Like he was really all. I mean, you talking about this guy was D'ing people up, and he played Will Chamberlain. You know what I mean? And that's like when they were having battles.
Yeah.
So
he played in Boston too, which
yeah.
isn't really known for racial
racist as Boston. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely played for Boston. LeBron James actually recently mentioned on like one of his like on the shows that he hates Boston because playing in Boston because they're racist as fuck, right? And yeah,
he's not the only player to say that either.
Yeah, there's a long history of racism in Boston. What I like about Bill Russell, there's a little history on Bill Russell. This is something I've always known about him. He's actually from the same state I'm from, Louisiana, right? He was born in Monroe or West Monroe, Louisiana, but he moved at the age of 3 Um, and this was during the time where a lot of African Americans were moving and leaving the South, the deep South, and going towards California, right? This is actually mentioned a lot in if you ever seen Ray, which was um oh my god, sorry. Um if you ever hear like if you've watched Ray, the 2006 movie, um they talk about that where Ray Charles actually went over to California to just make more money and kind of pursue his dreams. So it's pretty great.
Mhm.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Um yeah, so he's from Monroe. He moved at the age of 3. I think he said that his dad was like punched in the face or something by a white man or something. So yeah, but he's also someone who's always fought for civil rights and was him and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was a part of a group of
Yeah.
people that the president and whatnot. So um, yeah, again, huge giants in in this sphere, and they will definitely be missed. They will definitely be missed. Um, yeah, good stuff, man. So definitely heart goes out to him and his families, man. Definitely appreciative of all the work that they've done, right? Because it's allowed us to kind of be
Most
where we are
definitely.
today. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Oh, I kind of want to try something. So let's go ahead. You ready to hit our next topic, which is Comic Con? Um, I forgot to send you the videos. I don't know, which trailers have you seen? Because there are a few trailers that have been out.
I saw all of them.
All of them. So you saw Shazam, the new Shazam trailer?
Yes.
Okay. And of course you saw Wakanda Forever trailer. Uh House of Dragon. I got you. I got you. House of Dragon, so much shit's out. I want to try something a little bit different right now. What I want to do is I actually want to play the trailer for Wakanda Forever. And I'm kind of testing a feature on the platform that we're using. So I
Dude, I'm
kind of want
telling
to
you, man, just use just do like a little bit. You're not gonna be able to play the whole thing because we're gonna get censored, man. Telling it off for YouTube, just like they pulled the last one where we
Well, there's a
did
trailer though, so we shouldn't get censored for a trailer.
we got killed in the analysis of the fight scenes.
Yeah, but those weren't
Remember that?
trailers. Those weren't trailers though.
Those are still like 1 and 2 minute clips. That's
Yeah.
the trailer. It's the
Who
same
dares
thing.
wins, man. Let's get this. We got this.
So for the audience out there, if you're not able to see this, I'm sorry.
All right. Cool. So get ready to watch it. 3, 2, 1. Here's the Wakanda Forever trailer.
No woman, no cry. No woman, no cry. Hey, little darling, don't shed no tear. No woman, no cry. Good friends we have, and good friends we've lost along the way. In this great future, you can't forget your past. So dry your tears, I said.
Can you hear me, by the way?
Got you loud and clear.
Good. How did that video come through?
It came out really.
Yeah, I really wanted to test this. So yeah, that was the Wakanda Forever trailer. Man, I remember watching it, and I felt all the feels with Chadwick Boseman. You saw the funeral scene. You saw the great Angela Bassett. You saw Shuri. You saw Winston Duke. You saw Nicoya.
Yep.
Yeah, you saw a lot of people there. So
You saw
Neymar, of course, I can't believe I didn't mention that. So yeah, it's been rumored that he was going to be the main bad guy in this movie. So what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Let's get into it.
First of all, I'm all over the movie. I really hope it's a good movie for one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Makes it look like it will be, right? And I really like it looks like for the Atlantean inspiration from like South America, it looked like a little bit. If you Asians or something like that. If you look at like some of the costumes and things of that nature. So I really like that. I'm wondering if the girl in Shuri's lab, when she walks in, I'm wondering if that's going to be Ironheart.
That is Ironheart. Yes.
Helping her out. So yeah, I was thinking about that. I think Angela Bassett is going to kill it as always. Absolutely.
Oh my god. Yeah.
And yeah, I'm wondering.
To be honest with you,
not too old, man. Can't
she's too old. She can't. She's too old.
Can't do all that, man.
But I kind of want her to be Black Panther. But I'm just saying.
So being, again, right. I know Shuri is more than likely, the Black Panther or whatever, which with the story or whatever. I just feel like here, I'm still bothered by the fact they didn't recast the role. It still bothers me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And from when I read it, bothers a lot of people too. There was like a hashtag going out like to ban the movie. I'm not upset about it.
Oh no.
But
no. Yeah.
But for me, like to recast it, for one, I really wanted that character holds a special. That's a black hero, a black male hero, and not only is he black, he's a king from Africa, right? And typically, like when you have like a white protagonist, guys of Egypt, I'm looking at you, right? Or is like somehow like there's something in there in the culture that isn't really African, right? So here, it is, you know what I mean? And T'Challa, as being all that he was and what he represented, young black men need to see that. Young black men and boys need to see that, right? They need to see it from the hood. Doesn't have a past as a drug dealer, wasn't incarcerated. This is a dude that became a king and is a leader. You know what I mean? And that's something that's missing. Comics, think about it. Out of all the comic heroes that we have out here in the movies, out of all the stuff that we have out here, that and now it's gone, and we're never going to get it back. And we're supposed to believe that this role could never be played again because he did such a good job. And I think that's bullshit. Man, you're always going to have another Spider-Man. You're always going to have another whoever. They're going to recast it 10 times.
Spider-Man, Superman. Yeah.
The one time that we have a positive black male role, one and done. You know what I mean? So
I would say,
I had to get on my soapbox for that.
Yeah.
It's gone, dog.
I would say one and done. He did great movie. He did a great role in
well, I mean, he had bit, he had other, but still, like, too soon. that being
Yeah, no,
said, this I appreciate the tribute to him, to Chadwick Boseman for sure. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
I'm on either side right now. Right, I'm
yeah,
upset,
I hear you.
but I want to see the next thing.
Yeah, no,
So
absolutely, absolutely. No, what you're saying is very warranted too, and a lot of people also think that Michael B. Jordan's gonna somehow come back and whatnot. I feel like if he does, that kind of belittles his death in the Black Panther movie. No, a lot of ways I'm with you, right? I would also argue a little bit though. Yeah, I don't really disagree with what you're saying at all. To be honest with you, so this is not really a pushback. So much rather, um, you also don't see black female superheroes like at all, which is interesting because
well,
we're
they're
gonna
in
get
hard.
Riri.
You had
We're gonna
Naomi
get
on DC, but that was short lived. Which I mean, they shouldn't have done that either. Oh, you know what I mean? But
Naomi on DC. Who?
on I'm sorry, on the CW, Naomi. Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I'm saying.
okay.
The fact that I say that, you're like, who? So they ain't even pushing it. You know?
Yeah,
But
no, no, that's
again,
true. That's true. I also wonder too is because we know Captain America's getting a movie. Um, it makes me wonder if they've reached their black milk quota.
well, that's typically so. And this is another thing that I be seeing. You always seem to have like your one black star,
Yeah,
your one
that
black
quota,
movie star. Right? Think
that
about
quota.
in the comedy game right now, right?
Yeah,
That guy right now is Dave Chappelle. Right, Dave Chappelle game on lock, and then Kevin Hart is still out there like with acting, he's still doing big. But who like, oh shit, Dave Chappelle is doing
yeah,
something?
and they're attacking
It's
him probably than other comics should, right? Like
of
they're hitting
course,
him
yeah,
hard,
he's got
right?
the eye on him. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and I also watch Andrew Schultz. Now Andrew Schultz has also gotten in a little bit of trouble. He wanted to like release his comedy special on I'm assuming Netflix, but or a streaming service. Just going to assume it's Netflix. But he had some abortion jokes that kind of scared them, and they've been on like the defense a lot, especially with Dave Chappelle and just with a lot of their content. Um, yeah, but no, I definitely am gonna miss uh like Chadwick Boseman. I think it's also very telling the choice of music in the trailer that we just saw, right?
Love the choice.
Yeah, No Woman, No Cry, right? Which was the Bob Marley, obviously a Bob Marley song. I forgot the cover. Embarrassing. I'll look up the cover and I'll say the name so I can get the
But
name
I
right.
liked how it transitioned.
Oh yeah,
All right, love
we
that.
gonna be all
I
right,
thought that was. I
right?
mean,
Which is which was the call.
give it up.
Which was the call to which was the call to like during the George Floyd protests, like that was the chant, we gonna be all right, right? So yeah, it was a great thing to see. Um Neymar is considered the first mutant in terms of comic books. For those who aren't familiar, Neymar is the equivalent of to DC's Aquaman, though Neymar came out a couple years earlier before Aquaman, right? Little fun fact there. But he's also considered the first mutant. If you see in the trailer, you see like wings on his feet. Um, which I thought was pretty interesting. It's very comic book accurate. You don't really
Appreciate
see
that.
his face. Yeah, you definitely don't see his face a lot. But yeah, we'll
Well,
we'll we'll see. Go ahead.
I saw it just enough. I got an idea
Yeah,
of
you
him.
see,
You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, little fun fact too. Looks like Kamaru Usman is going to be a part of um the show as well, of this movie as well. So he has like a small role, which is great. It would be great if also Francis Ngannou got in as well. Um, I'll be interested to see how they incorporate Mexican culture in this. So if you saw in like the beginning of the trailer, Lupita Nyong'o's character Nakia, she was on the beach somewhere, right? And you saw like an Aztec
Mm-hmm.
pyramid right beside her. So I mean, I wonder if either her or like Letitia Wright. I mean, Letitia Wright is probably the most comic book ready. Like in the comic books, she actually does become Black Panther, right?
Right.
Um, I would say she's gotten in a little bit of trouble with kind of her views on like being an anti-vaxxer, which I think is also hilarious that she plays one of the smartest characters in the Marvel universe and she's an anti-vaxxer. That's just the irony there is just is hilarious to me.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's gonna be pretty good. I can't wait to see Okoye. I can't wait to see all the characters there. I'm curious how they're gonna add Ironheart into it as well. Um,
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of characters, but there are a lot of characters in the Black Panther movie, and it was a really good movie, right? Versus the
I'm curious
Eternals,
to
where they had
see.
like a shit ton of characters,
I'm
and it
curious to
wasn't
see
that
what
good.
M'Baku's gonna what his role is gonna be. I'm
Yeah,
really curious.
yeah. I'm curious to see that. I wonder if he's not. I don't think it's gonna take the heart shaped herb. I wonder if there's because there is another herb for his tribe. So they
Right.
worship Haruman, right? So there's like a gorilla shaped, herb that he can eat too. So I'm curious to see kind of what they do with this, and where they go with this. I wonder if people are going to complain about it being too woke. Um, and I find it fascinating how, and we'll get into this a little bit
Everybody
later when
is.
they're, yeah, where people are where there's a more diverse cast. People will complain about it being too woke. Like the last James Bond movie, Bill Maher, someone who I used to like and follow, was complaining how it was too woke and it wasn't a James Bond movie, and I'm like, whatever, dude.
How, in what way? You
Well,
remember?
I would argue. He says that it wasn't a James Bond movie, and I remember watching it and thinking to myself, this is like the least James Bond movie, but it's still a solid movie, and it's probably one of the better Daniel Craig performances as James Bond. Might be the best movie, but I mean, I think it's telling how you have a very empowered black agent, an empowered Cuban agent, right? Another empowered black agent who is like one of the heads of CIA South Africa with a lighter, Felix Leiter, and you're whining at that it's like a freaking woke movie, and it's like, really? So I think it's telling. Yeah, it's telling, right? And I'm sure they've been doing it with Marvel, right? You saw this with like Kamala Khan, right? With her trailer, someone whining about, oh, well, Marvel's trying to make a godless, non-Christian, gay person to lead their universe. I'm like, that's not what's happening here. But whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
that's
Next,
yeah, whatever, man.
but no,
What
yeah, Black Panther's gonna
what do
be
you think,
dope,
man?
man. I mean, it hurts, but I still
Yeah,
want to see it.
yeah,
You know, I think
yeah.
the next talk about is She-Hulk. Did you see the She-Hulk
Yeah.
trailer?
I did see the She-Hulk trailer. I'm actually uploading that, so I kind of want to get that played in a second. Before we get to She-Hulk, very, very quickly, um, so we haven't even talked about Thor. We'll talk about Thor later. But like Thor, that brought into the concept of realms, right? So you saw Thor finally. Took you 2 weeks. So it's okay. Um, uh, so no, we saw Thor. Um, great movie. You saw Valhalla, right?
Yes.
And yeah, which just we'll talk about Thor a little bit later. But it just felt good to see Jade back. But Valhalla was there. We saw the ancestral plane. We saw the Duat in um, the Moon Knight series. So they really
Yep.
are bringing this concept of an afterlife
Mm-hmm.
as well, which I think is pretty cool. I wonder if they'll do something like along the lines there with we'll get to see Chadwick Boseman a little bit. Maybe a silhouette of him in like the ancestral plane. So yeah, I'm super excited to see it. I'm excited that they finally have Neymar. Neymar hasn't had a movie because I think his movie rights are owned by Universal, I think, which is frustrating. But yeah, what are you gonna do, right? Excited for Riri's. We talked a little bit about how um, the current slate of movies hasn't really had any direction, and it seems like we're all kind of just reeling from the aftermath of like the Infinity War and Endgame. That's what it looks like with all the movies that has come out. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Yeah, but let's watch the She-Hulk trailer.
She-Hulk.
Wow! Jeez, what the hell, man?
Still in control, no overwhelming feelings of rage.
No, a normal amount of rage.
You do revert back to Gen form when you sleep.
Was the air horn really necessary?
For comedy, absolutely. This is a multi-year journey you're about to embark on.
Yes.
Yeah. Who's your best friend?
Nikki.
Spandex. Spandex is your best friend. Being a Hulk asks for balance. You have so much more to learn. Yes!
So I'm clearly nailing it at all these things.
If you want to go back to your life as a lawyer, I respect that.
He doesn't mean that.
More and more eccentric superhumans are coming out of the woodwork. We're going to launch a division for them. And I want the She-Hulk to be the face of it.
Jennifer Waters. Namaste.
I have a serious conflict of interest. This man tried to kill my cousin, Bruce.
Yeah, that's quite all right.
Oh. People only care because I'm representing Emil Blonsky.
I think they care because they're like, hey, that girl's green.
Jen, do your thing.
God, I really like this outfit.
I'm not proud of this.
Miss Walters, we answer to a higher power. Our universe is on the edge of a precipice.
I am a lawyer. We do things by the book.
The Book of Ashanti.
No, the book of American laws.
Whether you like it or not, you're now a superhero.
Let's do this. You know that friend you had in high school who was way cooler than you were attractive, got all the attention from everyone? Hello.
I think I'm jealous. Is that what I'm feeling?
Man, a lot to get into.
Yeah.
Lots to get into. All right. So, what are your thoughts?
So initially when I saw like the show, CGI was trash.
Yes, and it still has some work to do, but they've
So
gotten
I'm
better,
hoping
but yes.
that they continue to improve things.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued by this one because
Yeah.
she's going to be a lawyer for superhumans, right? Which I think is pretty cool when you think about all these heroes and everything coming out, these superpowered individuals coming out, and all of the public property, right? They're bound to get some lawsuits, and who better on their own, right? So I like that. I like the training montage with so I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that I find interesting. An article the other day.
Okay.
A couple of things. They're changing the origin.
Really?
Yes. So in the comics, becomes She-Hulk after she's rescued by Bruce, emergency blood transfusion. And she becomes She-Hulk. In this one, and ends up like, somehow getting some of his blood in some cut wound or something. But she rescues him, right? According to the article, the show was going to basically depict her as being, right? This is after Bruce Banner has been the Hulk. Oh man. Am I coming in now?
You're coming in a little bit, but there's still a delay, but it's fine.
Okay.
We'll power through.
Yeah, but basically, he's been the Hulk for all this time. The show takes place in the Hulk for like a few months, and basically now some people do everything better than him, right? So here's my issue with that.
I know you're gonna point that out. I know you're gonna point that out.
It's the same issue that I had with Rey, right? She could just do whatever because type of thing that pisses me off, right? I understand we want strong female characters. I need to see some struggle. Make me care. Earn what you can do, right? This is why I had a problem with the Captain Marvel movie. She could just do everything. I mean, that's a good skill set, but like, I need to see her struggle. I need to see some character building. Luke's the greatest Jedi of all time, but you there we go. Watched him overcome things to Rey. None of that. Now you got She-Hulk doing the same thing. It's just because is it just because you had to show her being like everything that Bruce Banner can't be? Now, and in one way, I feel the way they could depict this is because, obviously she's a different person than him in her issues, right? Which is why his Hulk is like a kid compared to him, a little bit different. So I'm hoping there's something in the story that makes her be the better Hulk because I am woman, hear me roar. Like just, then story wise, right? I hate when they do this type of stuff, right? Like I know God. Put something in the story. You know what I'm saying? Don't just force this shit down my throat.
Yeah, it's forced.
When I saw this article, I was like, here we freaking go, man. Why?
Yeah.
Put something as to why she is a different Hulk and possibly a better Hulk than her could be. Oh, because she's a woman. Yeah. Like, I mean, okay.
Yeah.
It's killing me with this.
Yeah, I agree with you a lot of it. The only thing I'll say a little bit in the sense that it's only a trailer. We don't know, right? Again, this actually pushes me back.
I'm going off the article. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
I'm hoping. I want to give the series a chance. I'm going to watch the series. Characters there, right? But I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No. So, couple things. So, and we talk about all this stuff on this podcast. So, one of the reasons why Wonder Woman, at least the first one, was so good, right, is that they didn't have her having to belittle or undermine everything. She was already the strongest person there by far, right? They didn't waste her time like comparing her to like Steve Rogers or whatever other douchebag guy there, right? She was there, she was on mission, right? And like she was the strongest person there, right? And we saw that, right? And she didn't have to belittle anyone else to do that, right? I wouldn't say that they were belittling like the Bruce Banner character here, but I definitely hear what you're saying with that. Um, and I'm hoping to see that they don't make the same mistake that they did with Captain Marvel, in the sense that Captain Marvel, she did struggle. There was some struggle, a little bit, not a lot.
Where?
So she didn't unlock her powers initially, right? They tried to control her or limit her powers, right? She also struggled because she didn't remember her past, right? So she had a lot of problems with identity, right? Because she thought she was Kree, but actually she was Earthling. She was Earth. She was from Earth, right? Um, Again, they had a great scene with her and Maria Rambeau, right? Um, Best scene in that whole movie by far.
Yes.
With them kind of bonding. And I wish like the whole movie was more like that, to be honest with you, not like everything else that it was. But just to be honest, again, I don't think it's a bad movie. I don't think it's a great movie. It's definitely, I've only watched it. I tend to watch Marvel movies multiple times. I think I've watched that one twice, maybe 3 times, and don't have any interest in watching it again. Eternals I only watched once, and I have no interest in ever watching that ever again. Shit movie. But yeah, one of the things about her character though, which is interesting, is that She-Hulk is usually the most like empowered character. So she's the character where she really embraces her sexuality. And you saw that a little bit in the trailer, in both of those trailers. There's in the first trailer you saw her like carrying this big muscle dude to her bedroom, which I think is fucking hilarious, by the way. It's freaking hilarious. Let's talk CGI a little bit. It's a little bit frustrating, and I say this knowing how just the way our society works. Like we judge women harsher than men, and just how our society works when it comes to like our aesthetics and whatever.
That's why I like the when she her the way the trailer showed her like embracing her sexuality. You know what I mean? Because of the way we do
Yeah.
look at women who are confident. That I thought was a nice nice piece on that.
Yeah, I like that too. Where I was going with this though was in terms of the CGI, because the CGI has gotten better since like the very first time we saw it, which was just when I saw it, I was like, "What?" It was as bad as, remember the first Sonic the Hedgehog?
Oh, don't do that. Ooh.
Maybe it wasn't that bad, but it was pretty bad,
Ooh.
right?
That to him. Well, you know what? I say this: it was only the design of Sonic, not the quality of the. I don't know.
Well, I mean, they changed it, and we're all grateful for that they changed it.
Yeah.
We're all grateful that they changed it. I would argue though with this one, and one of the things I focus heavily on is her forehead. Right? If you look at Bruce's face and forehead, you can see those wrinkles there, right? You can see that definition. You see that definition a little bit of her forehead only a couple of times. Like at the beginning of like the trailer, you're like, when he woke her up, and I think this is very, very telling because you saw her in regular form. You see like all of those, I don't want to say wrinkles, but those imperfections, which I think is a good thing, right? I think, like you saw the definition in her face, but in Hulk form, you don't really see that as much, right? You only see it when she's showing like real emotion, like when she's like only a little bit of rage, and you saw her squinch, or when he pushed her, or she punched her off the, when he punched her off the cliff, she was falling off, and she got really pissed off, and she saw her like frown and go while she fell off. That was hilarious. Another scene which I thought the CGI was pretty good when she's like, he doesn't really mean that, and then he like turns around and she's like turns around too. You don't see a lot of it, but you see more definition in his face. You see a little bit of hers. Part of the reason too, and I was reading articles and saw like reviews of this. She also wears makeup as the Hulk, right? So that could also be a reason as well. Again, we'll see it. Later comes out on the 17th. Happy for it. I want to ask you this: did you notice some of the other people that was in the movie in that trailer? Right, Daredevil. At the
I
end of
did
it,
see Daredevil. I was like, the only I
yeah,
have in my pocket right now is Daredevil. I hope he's not talking about.
yeah,
That's all I saw.
yeah. Daredevil. Frogman was there. There's a guy named Frogman. There was a guy that, if you see the trailer, he's like flying up, like he has like jetpacks on him. It's very reminiscent of like Iron Man. To be honest with you, the way he was flying. That's what that reminded me of. But yeah, no, definitely excited to kind of see where they're going with this. And one last thing I'll say this too, and then we're ready to move on if you want. So we saw this at the end of Miss Marvel. She's a mutant, right? They're bringing out Neymar, who's considered the first mutant in terms of comics. I don't know I'm not sure if they're going to repeat that in the actual movie.
Well, the flips in the comics.
Huh?
First mutant is Apocalypse.
I think it was the first mutant that was on like the page. Like, in terms of
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In terms of history wise, then yeah, you're right. The first mutant was Apocalypse, right? So yeah, I'm interested to see where it does seem like these enhanced or mutants, right, are going to be a bigger role in moving forward, right? And it's very interesting to kind of see them kind of play that part. You saw like a judge like transform into like an elf like creature or something. You obviously saw Abomination. You saw Wong, which is interesting because this kind of is telling in Shang-Chi, right? Because he was with Emil or Abomination, training him and whatnot. So it's very, 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 very interesting. I wonder if he's going to try to use Abomination in some multiversal fight or something, right? Because he talks about we answer to a higher power, and maybe we need Abomination in Secret Wars. You never know. So, yeah, do want to get into that a little bit too. Secret Wars is going to be one of the things that comes out. Yeah, but any more thoughts on this?
No, so that's one thing I wanted to talk about though. So in the comment asking like, yo, what's up with the face? It's like, what do we, and Kevin Feige was basically like, I think the Avengers movies are going to serve as like caps to each, some sort of crossover for each phase.
Yeah.
So I think Secret Avengers is going to be boom in this phase or whatnot. So I'm curious to see what else happens.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I don't know.
I'm actually trying to pull up the video. I'm trying to pull up the photo now of the phases. So,
okay, yeah.
Damn, it's gonna be a pain. But yeah, no, it's gonna be interesting, and I'm excited. And here it is, I think. All right, so yeah, I think this is gonna end Phase 4, this Black Panther film, and then we're gonna start moving into Phase 5. So you're gonna see Ant-Man Quantumania, which they showed the trailer, by the way, in Comic-Con. So super exciting. Guardians of the Galaxy. Loki season 2 is coming out. Which, by the way, I told you that the next season of Loki is going to come out before Secret and like the next Avengers movie. Just saying.
You did.
I'm just saying. Just going to point out that I'm right. But Secret Invasion is a TV show. Echo, The Marvels, Ironheart is coming out fall of 2023. Daredevil, Born Again, which I think is going to be a great storyline. 2024. Then Thunderbolts, which is Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad, almost.
Yep.
Right.
So I feel like Abomination. I feel like Abomination might be on the
on Thunderbolts. You know, I think it is going to be on the Thunderbolts. Hercules, which we haven't reviewed it yet, but let's go ahead and talk about. Let's go ahead and talk about Thor, right? What are your thoughts? And we'll probably move back and forth between Thor and like the Secret Wars and whatnot, right? So, but yeah, go ahead, man.
So, so this time I actually rewatched all of the Thor, and I watched I told you about Comic Historian. He put together all of the Gore God Butcher comic. Did a voiceover for everything before watching this movie, right? Supremely corny. Okay.
This movie?
But yeah, I mean the comedy was just like it was too much, man. It was too much. Right?
Yeah.
And everything, but as soon as people started talking, it was don't even talk like this, man. And I know it was supposed to be in the voice of was this Korg or whatever the rock guy is. What's his name?
Oh, Taika Waititi?
What was his sidekick's name? Korg.
Oh.
Was it Korg?
It starts with an M.
Yeah, his name was Korg.
God.
No, the movie starts with Korg. Yeah, Korg was telling the story, was narrating.
Oh, okay.
They were
talking. I thought you meant Gore's. Okay, yeah.
No, it was Korg.
Go ahead.
Like they were, but I was immediately like, "Yo, man, this is stupid." Right? I mean, the vibe that you were getting from the movie, it switched over, and it wasn't like a seamless transition from comedy back. Like it was just corny, and then I'm supposed to feel like there was something being corny, and it was just like, nah. I think, and after having watched the other Thor movies, this might be my least favorite.
What?
Movie.
What? The
Yeah,
least
this might be my
out
least
of
favorite.
Thor 1 and 2? Whoa.
Remember, I like Thor 1.
Wow.
I like Thor 1, and rewatching it just made me like it that much more. I have a great appreciation for the Dark World. It was still like not that great, but this joint, like they had stuff that I was just like, "What are you doing?" But this one right here, corny, man. I was just like, it's too much. The comedy was too formula, and they perverted it.
Well, I think what they did, and this is what they usually do with movies, is like when you have a success in one movie and you come out with a second movie, right? Afterwards, they just do more of the same. It's a little bit more over the top, and it usually doesn't work out.
Over the top.
Yeah. What up, BK? Finally joining us. Good to see you. Yeah. So I would argue. I actually like the movie. I still think it's not as good as the last movie. I would agree with that. I still think it's better than the other two movies. The first two Thor movies. I would say, according to, again, back to my no spoilers review. Thank you for the shirt, by the way, PK. So.
Oh yeah, appreciate it.
He can't see your shirt.
He knew it
also, your video was. Also, your shit's reversed. I don't know if I can unreverse it. You'll have to like do it yourself.
To get some new equipment here.
Yeah, it's all good. But what was I saying? Yeah. So for me, like the pacing was off at the beginning of the movie because they had to catch up so quickly, right? It was like, so what was Thor doing after Endgame, right? He quickly switched over from dad bod to god bod. That's what they said in the movie. He was part of the Guardians of the Galaxy. So it was super quick, right? They never really explained how, like, you notice both his eyes were blue. In the end of Endgame, that wasn't the case because he lost an eye to
Yeah,
Hela,
fake eye.
right? So both his eyes was blue, but they never explained like why that's the case, right? So it's kind of one of the things that they missed. It did feel good seeing uh, Natalie Portman again, like as the Mighty Thor. I don't know, for whatever reason, I really enjoyed just watching her, and I enjoyed the end where you got to see her like go to Valhalla. It's like that's cool.
She did a good
right?
job.
That's good to see. She did a great job. She looked yoked as fuck, right? Like, which I thought was great. She put on some weight, and I was like, I am all for it. Like, she looked yoked, and I'm like, thank you. And again, we judge
I
women's
like.
bodies like harshly. I did want to point one shout out. Like, I saw an article how they're trying to make the Marvels very silly, like just like some of the other movies. So I'm a little concerned about that. But even more importantly, the article also kind of talked about Brie Larson being really thin. And if you see some of, like, I see a little bit of her Instagram, she talks about working out a lot, but she does seem a little bit more on the smaller, thinner side. And like I said, again, I know not to like judge anyone's woman's body or anything, but again, I just wanted to say it was great to see like Natalie Portman just looked like she could knock the fuck out of somebody, right? Her and Tessa Thompson, they looked amazing. So I just wanted to point that out. But yeah, go ahead, man.
I mean, look, so did Chris Hemsworth. Yeah, bro. Like that dude was fucking jacked.
He's always
so
jacked. Yeah, but more so than ever, more so than normal. And one of the things that got him so jacked was because he started doing more calisthenics work, which I think is great, which is things I'm starting to get into a little bit more. I don't think I'll ever be Chris Hemsworth jacked, but funny story about Chris Hemsworth being that his jacked. Apparently, his wife didn't like it that much. She thought his biceps were too big, right? Which is telling.
Well, I know he's been training for the Hulk Hogan. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they made the movie on that.
But Hulk Hogan wasn't as nearly as cut as he was. Like,
well,
Hulk Hogan wasn't as cut. He wasn't as ripped. Like, he was big, but
modern.
He wasn't ripped. But go ahead, man.
Techniques, man. but back to the movie, right? So you saw some of the differences between the way that the Mighty Thor, James, the way that Chris Hemsworth Thor used the hammer. I thought that was pretty cool the way they different. I like the pacing of the movie because it was very fast paced. It was one of the shorter movies.
You like the fast pace? It was a shorter movie.
Yeah, because we're on the chase. We're chasing after goal. We're trying to figure things out. My head was so at the beginning of the movie, or I forget what point it was, but they realized he's in like they called, and they were like, oh well, we shouldn't go there because it's where he's his most powerful. They go straight to the shadow realm, right? I was like, you just is most powerful, and we shouldn't go there. And then you go straight there. That could have been handled.
They did something similar in Thor Ragnarok, where when he defeated Surtur initially, and Surtur says, "I have to merge the eternal flame so I can destroy Asgard," and it's like he destroys him and then he puts his helmet right by the eternal flame, like the right thing he needs to do it. It's like, really, yeah, that's funny. Yeah, it's good. It's a good point. It's a good point.
Forgive more than this because at least that you think he's dead, right? So you just who cares where I put the free? So I was like, all right. I did think Gore was one that I've seen for the MCU. So far, I did like him. I like what he did. I like start and where he went to his God, and the guy was like, we don't care about you. You know what I mean? I saw. I like
I'm not worried
Christian
about you.
Bale, man. He did a really good job.
Christian Bale's great.
Yeah.
Christian Bale's great. He had a little bit more speaking time than Kate Blanchett in her movie as Hela. I thought he did a pretty good job there as well. You're right in a lot of the cases where they added more that we probably didn't need to add. So, for example, like the play at the beginning of the movie, right, where they're showing Thor and how his dad Odin died and Loki and Hela and all that stuff. They did that in the Ragnarok. They had to do it again in this movie. Right, again, they just kind of rinse and repeat again.
Yeah.
Again, I still liked it. I'll watch it a couple more times just to kind of get my thoughts on it. But outside of that, I mean, I thought it was a pretty solid movie. But yeah, man.
Wasn't feeling
apparently
it.
this guy.
I'll give it 2 stars. 2 stars.
2 stars. Out of 5, I'll give it 3.5. Which is interesting because I think I'm the more tougher critic than you are, but I like this movie a little bit better than you did, which is fine. But yeah, no, super. Yeah, it's an interesting movie. A lot. I do like how the movie Sweet Child of Mine. So that was kind of like the theme of the movie, Sweet Child of Mine, and it was about a kid. I thought that was pretty cool. And Infinite City, you saw so many of the gods there. Bast.
You saw, yeah, I saw her. Yeah.
You saw Bast there.
I did.
I think we saw the dragon Xiao there is from Shang-Chi. The dragon, I think he was there too.
Yeah, well, you watched it more than once. I don't know. I didn't see it.
Well, I didn't watch it more than once. I just saw the reviews, but yeah.
I like the scene where they went to the Eternal City or the City of Eternity. I thought that scene was actually really well done. I thought it was, and
the Eternity City. You mean Optimum City?
Is it Eternal City or Optimus? Right? Yeah.
City of the Gods, right? Yeah, Optimum City.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not Eternal City, but.
Oh, I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
No, but I enjoyed the scene with Zeus. I thought that was actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
It was funny when you kind of saw like a brief like battle of the gods of thunder. Well, God of Thunder versus the whatever. I thought that was well done. But I was shocked when he threw that lightning bolt through Zeus. I was really shocked.
Yeah, that was pretty shocking. That he just, but Zeus didn't die.
Yeah,
yes,
I thought he was dead
City, by the way.
Omnipotent City.
Omnipotent City, yes, is what it's called. Yeah, he didn't die. I thought he was gonna die. I thought he was as good as dead, but he's not. We get to see his son, who's gonna be who in the comics he was in Thunderbolts. So I think they're gonna follow the same suit again with the movie, him being in Thunderbolts. It's usually a rivalry between him and Thor anyway, so it's gonna good to see that. We'll see. We'll see how jacked that guy becomes too. So, yeah, go ahead, man.
He's all right, but I think so. What's interesting is I was reading an article about this too. So the person that Thor in the new movies, where he's kind of like an idiot, for lack of a better word, Hercules in the comics, right? So it's going to be. I'm curious to see how they're going to characterize Hercules' personality over to Thor. So we'll see how that goes too.
We shall see. Little fun fact: Jeff Goldblum, Peter Dinklage, Lena Headey were all supposed to be in the movie. All scenes were cut. I would love to see Jeff Goldblum, for sure. Lena Headey, I think, is maybe suing the MCU or Marvel because of her not being in the theatrical release. But yeah, no, yeah, that let's move on from Thor. Last but not least, since we're like way over time, but you know we've been out for 2 weeks and it's been We got a lot to get into. Uh, Thoughts on? I don't know if you saw. I saw the trailer, even though I'm not supposed to. It was on YouTube. Somebody snuck a camera into the trailer, but they showed the trailer for Ant-Man Quantumania. I read reviews about it.
Ooh.
So I saw the trailer. Like it was uh, a cell phone view from someone's lap. So someone just kind of recording from off their cell phone. Jonathan Majors, awesome. Cannot wait to see him. It looks like he's gonna be talking. He's gonna be playing many forms, right? King the Conqueror, Immortus, Pharaoh Ramatut. So quick little describer of the trailer. Scott Lang is kind of enjoying life a little bit. He's very popular. His daughter's getting into trouble a little bit, getting into he had to bail out of jail. We're gonna discover the quantum realm a lot. So they're gonna actually be in the quantum realm, and Scott's gonna be oh, you messed with an Avenger, and that's when you see King the Conqueror or Jonathan Majors in his face. He goes, "Oh, you're an Avenger. Have I killed you before?" Right? He specifically asked that question. So I must have killed you before, right? So it's gonna be pretty interesting to see. He says like, I'm an Avenger. He goes, "Well, I'm a conqueror, right? And have I killed you before?" So I am super excited to see Jonathan Majors become King of the Conqueror. It looks like he's going to be the main bad guy, right? In this whole, in terms of Secret Wars and the other movie that he's coming out with. So I'm excited to see what happens with that. Thoughts?
I did not see that trailer. So I'm curious about that one, man. Yeah, movie was the first one was great, I thought, but the last one was they'll tie it together nicely.
What you mean the other movie?
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I thought it was okay. It wasn't as good as the first movie. But yeah, it's good. I think it's gonna be a good movie. I hope so, at least. But we shall see. I'm trying to look at the names of the movie. They said it's gonna be Secret Wars and Kang Dynasty is what it's called. Yeah. So the two big Avenger movies is gonna be Kang Dynasty is gonna be number one, and maybe we'll see like an Army of Kings or something, and then we'll see Secret Wars right afterwards. So excited to see where that's going. Yeah, it's gonna be some fun. Buckle up for the ride, man. It's gonna be good.
I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah,
can we shoot over to DC real quick to talk about the Shazam trailer?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's shoot up to DC. I didn't download the trailer, but let's go ahead. Let's talk about it. By the time we finish talking about it, we'll watch the trailer. But go ahead. Yeah.
No respect. No respect. No, but no. So I'm kind of looking forward to see how they're going to expand on Shazam. You have all his brother, his extended family. They now share his powers. Two daughters of I think
Atlas.
Was it Atlas's daughter?
Daughters of Atlas. Yeah.
Atlas. Yeah.
Atlas.
So they're in the picture now. Mm-hmm. You saw the wizard again in Tread.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure.
I'm not feeling that one. Yeah, I'm not feeling that one. And the thing when someone dies is that when they come back to life, it almost takes away from their sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
Like you saw this a little bit with freaking even with Infinity War and Endgame, the people that came back to life, they lost 5 years, right? And it showed these guys trying to make amends and try to reconcile and kind of figure that out. I'm a little bit on how they're bringing out Shazam like this guy out of nowhere again, but we'll see how it works. So yeah, I'm a little about it. I am happy to see Helen Mirren. Oh, this is sexy. We're gonna watch the trailer in a second. I have to download it and upload it again, which is a pain. But Helen Mirren is one of the daughters of Atlas, and what I find is pretty funny is that the Shazam character, he was like, "Oh, well, I know what it's all about. It's about family." He made a Fast and the Furious reference, which is hilarious because she's in the Fast and the Furious movies.
That's right. That's right.
I thought that was hilarious and just well timed and everything. I think Fast and Furious goes to Warner Brothers too, or is it Universal? I'm not sure.
I think it's Universal.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm super excited to see this movie as well. And they also made reference to other superhero movies. So I'm wondering if they made reference to Flash. They made reference to Batman, I think, right? So hopefully Warner Brothers can finally get it together.
Yeah.
Try not to force it. They've had some bad luck with some of their actors and actresses with Ezra Miller and I forgot the woman's name already. Johnny Depp's former
Amber Heard. Yeah.
Amber Heard. There you go. I'm so bad with names.
So actually, speaking of Amber Heard, this is a good segue. Aquaman 2. Word on the street is that Ben Affleck's Batman makes. So we'll see what that's all about. Yeah. He's got a trailer, what's his face? Jason Momoa took pictures weighing, and it's pretty much been confirmed. So
yeah, well, it's good to see
because he
was a good-looking Batman.
Yeah, that was a lost opportunity, and the more stories that come out about it, the more I'm starting to realize that that's probably the Batman movie that I wish I could have, because they were talking about it was James Bond-esque, and I was like, that's for me. That's what Batman on type dude. You know what I'm saying? With the kung fu, with some kung fu. That TV show. The guy who went and got training and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, for me, that's so.
Yeah,
I would have been curious to see how that turned out.
That's a great analogy too, because Batman, like if you look the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, right? He was like Lucius Fox played the Q character, right? Like, I'm trying to do this or do this. Like, let me help you figure this out, or build you a new suit, or here's a tank and all that stuff. So, yeah, we'll see. I'm actually more interested to see a little bit more of the Robert Pattinson Batman and see how that works. Hopefully the next movies they come out with isn't 3 hours long, because it will turn off some people. Unfortunately, but I thought it was a good movie regardless. But yeah, no, super excited to see kind of what's next for DC. It seems like they're finally starting to get their stride a little bit. Couple setbacks with Ezra Miller and Amber Heard, but I think they'll kind of find their way, and I'm all for it.
Definitely.
Right. I just downloaded the video. I'm going to upload it. That's going to take a couple minutes, but yeah, I'll let you know if we can even get get it watching.
Okay.
I didn't plan to play this video. I only planned for this one, and I already planned for Wakanda Forever and for the what's the other? Yeah, the shit with names like She-Hulk. Oh, we just talked about this shit too, and I'm like fucking drawing a blank. Let me ask you this while I'm trying to upload the next movie. What movie are you or show are you excited about the most? And you can't say Wakanda. You can't say Black Panther.
You know what? I'm looking forward to Black Adam. Looking forward to it.
Black Adam. Oh, that's another. We might have to do a DC one next week.
We should have.
Right,
We should have done. We should have did Marvel Comic Con versus DC. Marvel still ate up DC. I don't care how you. No matter how you slice it, Marvel ate up DC all day long. Gotta check them out.
Man, I'm surprised that you're admitting that, Mr. DC here. Wow, that's crazy.
I'm still objective. You
try to be. I'll give you that. You try to
Facts
be.
is facts is facts.
You're not objecting about the Batman v Superman movie.
I'm not. It was a good movie. But I'm curious to see how the Justice Society is depicted, having watched Stargirl. The first, see how the Justice Society is depicted, particularly Hawkman. Definitely looking forward. So yeah, and Dr. Fate. I like them too.
Yeah. I was gonna download the Black Adam trailer, but we'll save that for next week. We're already like way over time, so let's go ahead and watch finally the Shazam trailer.
I'm an idiot.
It's showtime!
I don't deserve these powers, if I'm being honest. Like, what am I even contributing? Ow! There's already a superhero with a red suit with a lightning bolt on it. Aquaman is literally huge and he's so manly. And Batman is so cool. And I'm just me. I feel like a fraud. It doesn't matter. Anyway, the wizard gave me superpowers. But then everybody got superpowers.
Where's everyone going?
To fight crime?
Okay.
Now everyone's kind of like doing their own thing, and I'm the only one trying to keep it together.
You understand I'm a pediatrician, right?
Come on!
Now let's get down to business.
Listen to me, Billy. The fate of your world depends on it. The daughters of Atlas are coming for you.
Children stole the power of all the gods. This is very personal, Billy.
Look, I might not have as much experience as you, because I'm not super old like you. But I've seen all of the Fast and the Furious movies, lady. It's all about family! Family! Guys, that was a signal!
Introducing the star of our show. His name is Shazam! Now let's get down to business.
Your world will not survive this.
I don't know how we fight powers like this.
You think I know how to fix this, dude, but I really don't.
Billy, everyone can be worthy. Let's give it a chance. Now go fight for your family. Go fight for the world.
Hurry, step right up. You wouldn't want to be anywhere else in the world right now.
I just threw a truck at a dragon. I love my life.
Let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Can I get a witness?
Nice.
Looks pretty funny. So
That's
so
fun.
I'm hoping that they don't make it too corny, right? I think the humor in
Improve the suit.
is better than was it Thor? Better done, but yeah, looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah.
They should have Black Adam. They should have Black Adam cameo
Make an
in here.
appearance.
I think that's his main. Got to.
I'm curious to see how that's gonna work, actually, because they're making him I wonder if he's going to be like Black Adam was first a villain, then he became an anti-hero, and it seems like they're really focusing on him being the anti-hero in his movie. So I'm curious to see how that's going to work. I appreciate that they improved the design of the suit a little bit, right? Notice that he's not as bulky, right? Like he had like the fat suit on before, and they tried to like really push it towards his like comic view fat suit, but like his muscle suit, right? And by the way, Chris Hemsworth has used muscle suits before, and like in Infinity War, they actually made his muscles bigger, and like with one when he like came in Wakanda, so it's not unheard of, but he does seem a little more thinner, a little more streamlined in his suit, which I think was great. It's good to see all the other kids there, as well. They're getting old, right? They're no longer orphans anymore.
Yeah.
They're adults now. So, what's funny is that these guys are supposed to look like their counterparts when they get older, which I think is hilarious. Which they do not.
No.
So, yeah, I thought that was interesting. But outside of that, I'm excited for that too. So, yeah, Fury of the Gods. Oh, it's called Shazam 2, right? So I was looking up.
Yep.
I spelled Shazam with Sharam. Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods. There it is. Oh, it's coming out this year too. I didn't realize that. Oh, in December. Oh, I thought it was coming out next year. Okay, look at DC try to get together and be relevant.
Better come out with something. I mean, all that came out this with the Batman, right? I mean,
yeah. Which that came on. Was that in the theater? I think that came out in theaters. Yeah, I did see it in theaters. So yeah. By the way, Lucy Liu's playing Calypso. Helen Mirren is playing Hespera, both daughters of Atlas. Which is pretty interesting. So yeah, no, excited to see it. Really excited to see it. Okay. We got a long one today, hour 30. But
hey man, there's a lot going on next week too. A lot of stuff on the political side going on.
Yeah.
With the January, with the Brittany Griner situation.
Oh
so
yeah, that's
there's
true.
a lot, man.
We gotta talk about that.
And
there's a lot that we didn't.
We
touch.
still got all the DC. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's shit to look forward to next week, guys. So, yeah, let's go ahead and call it for tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching and appreciating. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Comment on the format of the show, ways that we can improve. Let me know. I'm always looking to try to improve this format a little bit. So looking to get back on Instagram and then Twitch yet again. I think we're actually streaming live on Twitch right now. Because I totally forgot to not include Twitch in the live stream. But we're live on Twitch right now. So, whoops. But yeah.
Hey. We'll give it to you.
Go ahead.
I said,
yeah.
We'll give it to you, however you want it.
Pun intended. Pun totally intended. No. But be sure to like, comment, subscribe to our channels. Thank you guys so much for the support. Much appreciated. And I will see you guys later. Peace.